This initiative depends on the seriousness people attach to it. It is one thing to plant a tree. It is a different ballgame altogether to nurture it to growth and maturity.
Is what was more important to us than what's happening now. Why? Because we know in Africa, our challenge has been sustaining what we start.
We want to make our campus green. If you have been to several institutions in Nigeria, you see the serenity of the environment in greenness.
Good day. We are live at the Federal College of Freshwater Fisheries Technology, New Busa, where the institution is marking its 2026 tree planting day with the theme Greening Our Campus, Sustaining Our Future. I'm Ibrahim Abubakar Siddiq, reporting from Yapura Digital Media. Let's hear from the key stakeholders on the importance of today's event. Follow us as we unveil the program in full.
Great institution, the Fisheries College, the Provost from Federal Wildlife College, members of Borgu Emirate Council, district heads, security agents are present, the representative of the CP National Park Services, all important guests here present, the great students of this institution, gentlemen of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Today, I feel highly honored and privileged to be part of this great epoch-making event of tree planting, which is very dear to my heart, also very dear and important to my kingdom. And I always feel privileged to be in an institution of learning, and I therefore do pray that anytime I'm invited, I should be privileged to be present personally, because at any event of such, you will learn more, and knowledge has no limit. Knowledge has no age. Knowledge has no profession. Knowledge has no status. A few days back, I commissioned the College of Advanced Studies, which was named after our late Emir, His Royal Highness Alhaji Musa Mohammed Kigera III. The school I visited before the commissioning, when it started at the BRS minimum. But I was privileged to be there to commission it, and I was happy that there was progress made. And I saw many people there who went to seek for education. I saw the elderly that were seeking for education, and I feel proud of that. And I told some people earlier before then that if today Sanusi, the area of Kano, can go back to school to sit with students or students that he can give back to, and as Emir of that magnitude, to sit with students in their class, it's not for anything but for encouragement. It's to show that knowledge is very important, and no matter what position you occupy, you can still learn to death. Obasanjo, who was president of this country twice, went to school after his 8 years of presidency. So none of us is too great, too important not to seek for education. And without education today, you have nowhere to go. If you are a prince and aspiring to become an emir, no matter how wealthy you are, if you are not educated, the people will not value to be in their position. So, please, this is very important to us, and we should continue to see education as important. And that is why, whenever I'm invited to this environment, if I'm around, I would prefer to be here personally. The tree we are invited to plant, we have finished this for long. But I, for one, have learned so much by the remarks and presentations made by the speakers before me. The executive director has spoken, and I'm taking from him a lot of things. He's a man from Konkoso who speaks straight. And I was born in his village, Konkoso. So whatever he says now, he's saying the right thing. When we look at everything and decide to say it's for government, then we are not doing anything. If we have to wait for government to take certain decisions, we have been gone by now, many of us. Most especially on security matters. If we have to wait for the governor to act before us, we should be seen to be doing our responsibilities. So we have been acting before we get final support from up. So what is saying that anything that has to do with government, or everybody thinking that it's government that has to do this, then we'll be failing. So for this, like what he has said, let us take his words seriously, so that we will look at ourselves as helping ourselves, not waiting for government to do what we are supposed to do for ourselves. The man that spoke earlier, the first speaker, whom the MC described as a lecturer and who thought he was in the class. He spoke because he knows that this is an opportunity for him to tell us what we don't know. And we have learned so much. And based on what he has said, we are going to work together with the local government to ensure that most of the things he said is going to be a priority to us. Tree planting is very necessary in our community. It's very necessary in our homes. And that has been my hobby. This year, a few months back, I've just planted over almost 5,000 plants in my farm. Mango, about 1,000, and other plants. And we are going to plant more. And we are going to encourage our people to do. If I plant 1,000 based on my capacity of 5,000, you plant 100 based on your capacity, and we have 100 of you that plant, we will be having 10,000. Isn't it? 10,000 times 10,000. We have a lot. And this will equally be to our advantage in terms of wind and other natural effects. The CP's representative said, if not for rainy season, during the dry season, you touch the leaves of plants, you see dust. If you have one leaf on a tree, you cannot have less than 1,000 leaves on a tree. So it means if you have this dust, if the trees are not available, this dust will go where? Into us. What we eat at home, what we cook, once you open these things will come in. Once we breathe, it will come in. Our eyes will be affected. And I think that is why most of us today are having challenges of eyes. So, but I'm sure that what he has said makes a lot of meaning to us. With that, if you have it in your home, you have protected yourself for all these incidents that will happen to you. If you go to my house, I sit under the tree. I prefer that than even being in the AC. Most of the times, you see me under the tree. I've planted this for long, even before becoming Emir. And today, I sit under my tree, plug my mango, natural, no chemical.
The provost of Federal College of Freshwater Fisheries Technology, New Busa, by name Dr. Babatunde David Olaoshebikan. This year's tree planting day was inspired by the fact that as a college, we believe in environmental sustainability. And the nature of our college is that we have fisheries and agriculture. And we've discovered that most of the water bodies around us, especially small streams and rivers, are becoming dried during the dry season. And we discovered that this is as a result of deforestation around the college area. And then we also discovered that during the onset of rainy season, we usually have a serious windstorm that have been causing damage to our infrastructure. And so we decided that the best thing we need to do to protect our soil, our infrastructure, and to make sure that we have water, for our water bodies, we need to plant trees. And that is what we have been doing today. Even though as a college we have orchard, which we have fruit trees, but fruit trees cannot serve the function of a windbreaker. We need stronger trees like neem, like Tectonia grande, that is thick. We need melina and mahogany, and that's some of the trees that we have planted today. This will be an annual event. Whatever we are able to nurture this year, we believe that by next year they will have been strong enough to survive on their own, so that the ones we will plant next year will be the one we nurture, to the following year. And that's how we'll be doing until we make sure that the college environment become, an environment that is, natural, so that people coming here, they will feel as if they are, in a national park or a natural, flower garden. That is our, our intention. Yes, we want our college to be greener, so that the ambient will be beautiful and the air that we breathe in, especially during the heat period, people will find it easy to work in their office if the environment is very green and conducive. And so that is why we are saying greening our campus. And then when we say sustaining our future, it's saying that these things we are planting now, we make our college to be green, but it will also make our infrastructure and our water bodies, to be safe for the future generation. Because if we do not plant trees, most of the watershed around us are already bare of forest. Every year we'll be having a lot of erosion and flooding, which will be affecting our road, our our farms, and then even our fish pond. Yes, the college vision is to train manpower, that is able to do agriculture in a smart and a climate responsive way. And so by doing this, we are also teaching our students to know that it is not only farming or aquaculture alone. Your facility needs to be protected, and the only way by which you can protect them and to make them climate smart is by making sure you plant trees, around your aquaculture or around your farm, so that they will serve as a protection against windstorm, against any eventualities. We did today, as you have seen during the ceremony, we made sure that we tag every tree to somebody. For the staff that are planting today, they will see those trees as their own, and they will make sure they take care of those trees. Also, for the students, because of their large number, we cannot ask each of them to plant a tree. So we group them into classes. Within the classes, we group them based on their population. So they have a certain number of trees that they are going to plant, and they are the ones that will take care of those trees before the semester ends. And we are going to give prize to the best group that have the best nurtured tree at the end of the session. The message is that with the global warming and climate change, the need to plant trees in our environment cannot be overemphasized, and it will be to the benefit of everybody, not only the student, the staff, but to the community in general. Like our college, I told you we have orchard where we have fruit trees. We also plan to continue, so that in years to come, it will not only be as for practicals alone, student practical, it will be a source of revenue generation. By the time these fruit trees are producing, it will be harvested and sold, and then the revenue will be used to further develop our institution.
Yeah, my name is Nuruddin Abdullahi, the Registrar, Federal College of Freshwater Fisheries Technology, New Busa. Yeah, the inspiration stemmed from the fact that it's obvious that climate change is affecting us. So if you see our society today or the community, is obvious. Is it the heat? Is it lack of rainfall that we have? All these are part of climate change. And what the management feels is, let's try to do something. If federal government are giving us capital to do a lot of capital projects, if there is none, then why don't we improvise and do something? It's part of college development and also the community development. And it will transcend to even the local government and state and federal. To be an annual event. We will continue this. We are not just going to start this and then drop it. No, we intend to continue. So successive administrations that will come later, I'm sure they will pick from where we stop and continue to build on it. Definitely, it's aligned with it. Just like what you had at the event center, the Federal College of Freshwater Fisheries Research belongs to the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy. And what is the government doing? Trying to conserve our natural resources that will definitely lead to improvement on the national revenue. Emulate us. At least we have started something. It's now obvious that this laudable initiative should be emulated. You can see from the participants that attended, all of them are envious of us by now. So let them also key in, which will definitely transform our community.
My name is Iluyemi Ayodele Clark. I am an agronomist. Yes, tree planting is actually the most important thing to do in present-day sub-Saharan Africa. Just like we know, just as the way lung is to human body, is the way trees are to the planet Earth. The lungs tends to bring in oxygen to the body. So is the way tree is. Trees actually help to sequestrate carbon. The carbon dioxide we breathe out is taken by the trees. The tree taking carbon dioxide and breathe out oxygen too. So it shows that we cannot do without trees. So that's number one reason. Number two, in an academic environment as such, where we are trying to balance blue economy with green economy, it becomes imperative that we protect our water bodies where we rear our fishes. And the best way to protect these water bodies is by planting trees. And that's why forests are actually important around where there are water bodies, because when these trees are there, they try to compact the soil together. Hence, there's a reduction in erosion. And when erosion is reduced, there will not be seed going into the water, because when there's seed that enters the water, it becomes mud, and this mud affects production and spawning in fishes. So, and an environment like us, an academic environment that trains people on fish production, it's important we also train them how to maintain this water body. Environmental conservation, just like I explained, it doesn't just relate. It's actually an important and vital part of fish production. Why? Because all of these activities happens in the environment, and the residual effect of every part of this activity not done well will still come back to the environment. So when we go into fish production and the environment is not sustained, then there's danger. For example, you could know basically that in this our area, maybe New Busa to be precise, fish production in dry season is very minimal if there's not enough water. Why? Because the rate of evaporation is more than the rate of precipitation. So what is leaving is more than what is coming. So if the environment is not conserved, a time will come, there will not be nothing that will be coming down, and everything we have will be evaporated. So it is important to actually conserve it, so that when there's evaporation, there's also something that brings it down. So the best way to protect it is by planting trees. We also encourage people to plant trees around their ponds in recent times, so that one, it can actually compact the soil, number one. Two, help to shade the ponds such that there will not be direct sun hitting, landing on the aquatic entity in those ponds and water bodies. And with that, you can be sure that these fishes will do well. Other aquatic entities there will actually do well for one another. Yes, in all of the activities we have done, we have pre before this day, we have this day, and we have after this day. In all of those plans, what happens after today is what was more important. So it's not just to plant trees, it's not just to plan it, it is to sustain it. So as far as this college is concerned, we had made plans such that each of these trees planted by the people planted them every day after today, I mean beginning from tomorrow, there will be post-planting activities that will be happening consistently for the next 3 years in the first instance. More importantly, during dry season, when there will not be natural water, there are people who have been earmarked to water these plants every day, morning and evening.
My name is Ajayi Cosmas Tai, a member of the tree planting committee and the Dean Student Affairs of the College of Federal College of Freshwater Fisheries Technology, and also a staff or a lecturer in the Department of Fisheries Technology. College, over the years, have planted trees, but not in this capacity. The provost in his initiative thought it wise that planting tree in the college will assist in numerous ways. Is it about the building protection? Is it about healthiness of students? So all these ideas he brought forward and constituted this 3-man committee, and we decide to increase the quantity of tree within the college, and that's why we have this program today. When you get to a place that you see a lot of trees, you see calmness, you see better understanding for students, you see recreational sites where students can relax and have good thinking and meeting. In fact, some of the areas, my students as the dean of, they call it gossip center, because that's where they meet and have a lot of discussion. So this, making our environment green, is our priority, and inspiring the students to also get involved in planting trees wherever they find themselves. If we plant trees today, our future, our people in the future will enjoy it. You see that even in our invitees, we invited those who are even the sawmillers, who are the highest beneficiary who make a lot of money from tree felling. So this initiative has helped us and will help the community and the students to know that it is important wherever they are, keep planting trees, so that we will be able to reforest our environment and the whole community at large. FCFFT New Busa has started the initiative. I want other institutions also to copy this initiative, emulate this gesture, tell the students, tell the community, tell the security agent, tell everybody the importance of planting 1 tree, 2 trees, 10 trees, 100 trees within their community, and it will be better for every one of us, because tree is part of human life sustenance.
I am Dr. Tahir Mohamed Sule, the Executive Director, National Institute for Freshwater Fisheries Research, New Busa, Niger State. Today we are here for a tree planting exercise initiated by the Federal College of Fisheries in New Busa here, which is the 4th of August 2026. And it is a little bit kind of thought-provoking or awakening for the community members, involving the institutions within the community, the Emirate Council, the local government council, to get a clear message of greening Nigeria, starting with specifics like the college, other institutions, the local government, the Emirate Council, to go down to other communities, so that if the exercise is emulated, it means we'll be having more trees in our environment, which will be greening the environment with a symbiotic relationship between the plants and the man. We exhale what they take in, and we take in what plants exhale. That is the oxygen and the carbon dioxide, which is a symbiotic relationship. And that is why tree planting is not a thing anybody should take lightly. We should not take it for granted, and we should never wait for government to come and do everything for us. We must be very deliberate, we must be very calculative, and we must be very conscious of what development actually entails, more especially in this phase of climate change, where we are seeing a lot of degradations in our environmental behaviors. Rain pattern is not regular, the heat, floods, and so many other adverse effects of climate change. And we must be deliberate to curtail some of the side effects, which tree planting is one of such. And if this will be emulated by a good number of individuals in the community, it will go a long way to help the situation. Once we just take this ceremonial aspect, we have planted, we have gone, it is over, the rains are over, it may not survive. The trees will die, because we are going to enter dry spell after the rains. Are we conscious enough that these things have to be watered regularly before they thrive? If we take it for granted that until another rain, before the next rain, over 80% of the plants will perish. So we have to be very, very conscious about it. We have planted, they have to be nurtured. at least the next 3 years, they are in a very tender stage and they need proper care. And mostly that is what we lack, and that's why we plant and they die, because we don't nurture them. So I hope this one is going to be with a difference, so that we will see the benefit of the exercise. May God help us. With other institutions, everybody is trying his own in his own way. This, I said in my remarks, that I have initiated earlier than now to have about 5,000 seedlings of economic trees comprising of mango, guava, orange, date palms, and so many of them. After planting, we realized that we ran into the problem of water. We were buying tankers of water until we got no money to buy more. So we lost over 20%. Fulani's encouragement was there. People deliberately planting and spraying killed the plants. And so my advice will be, wherever we plant these things, we should be very, very deliberate on nurturing them. Water availability at the dry season is very critical. Very, very critical, because these plants will not thrive if they are not watered at regular intervals after the rains. And normally that is where we have it difficult. So communities, as the Emir said, they want to have their district heads and village heads trained. They should go to river area streams where they have availability of water to plant economic trees. Then the sawmillers, they can also establish wood lots for their planks in the future. So if this initiative is actually emulated by communities and institutions, it will be a very good start for all of us to experience a better environment in the nearest future.
Thank you very much for your time. Together, we can build a greener and healthier environment. Reporting from the Federal College of Freshwater Fisheries Technology, New Busa, I'm Ibrahim Abubakar Siddiq from Yopura Digital Media. Thank you.